Hello guys, welcome to today's video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about why recruiters they don't call you back after a great interview. An interview that you finished and you felt like, oh, that was nice. Oh, they were nice. Oh, this looks like it will work out 100%. In fact, if a friend of yours is to ask you, how did the interview go? Be like, oh, I already know I got the job. I got the job. Nothing is going to happen. I already know they were so nice, the recruiters were nice. Everybody in the call, they all appeared nice, and they said nice things like, "Oh, I like your experience. I like the way you speak. I like the way you explained that to us." They were all smiling, and I know this is going to work for me. But somehow there was no email, no call, no text, nothing happened at the end of the day. And then you're seated there wondering, I thought that went fine. I thought we all agreed indirectly that you're going to give me this job. So what really happened along the way? Now I'm here to tell you things that might have happened that you did not know. One thing I want you to know is that the whole recruitment decision does not just happen on that call. It happens back end. One thing you should know is that you probably impressed the wrong set of people. Yes, you probably impressed the wrong people or the wrong person. Yes, you were impressive, but probably not to the person you were supposed to be impressive to. Now, let me explain. When I started off as a recruiter, I was a junior recruiter, a recruitment coordinator. That was what I was. I had people higher than me in level. Yes, I had the liberty of interviewing candidates and having to know about their experience and having my conversation with them. And as at that point, if I interviewed you and I was impressed, my decision really at that point did not matter because I was still junior and there were things that, to them they tagged, you are still junior, so you really don't understand. And actually, right now, I get their point and I understand what they were trying to tell me at that point. They actually feel like, okay, you don't, yes, this person impressed you, but this person is not impressive. Yes, you might have impressed me and you felt like, okay, I am the person you've impressed the recruiter, but I don't make the decisions. At that point, I wasn't making the decisions. I could finish interviewing you and everything would have gone very well. And then my team lead can be like, okay, let me see the CV of the person you interviewed and you tried to shortlist. Let me see the CV. And then they look at the CV and be like, no, let's get another person. We don't want to work with the CV. And I'm like, oh, this person did well. They said, no, it's not about the doing well. I'm looking at the CV and this is not the best candidate for us. Let's get someone else. My dear, your interview went well, though, but how do I explain to you that it's not my fault? How do I explain to you that it was not really my fault that it didn't work out? I tried my best, but my team lead said, you can't work. So you see, you impressed me, but I was the wrong person. That is an example. I'm trying to give you an example of what could have happened. Impressing a recruiter sometimes does not automatically mean you've passed. There are people that you've not impressed. You've not impressed the hiring manager. You've not impressed the managing director. You've not impressed the head of department. You've not impressed the VP. There are a lot of people that still needs to be impressed. I could bring your CV and my team lead could just say, oh, I'm looking at this person. Let's get another person that is more industry specific. Let's get someone that aligns very well or more with the industry our client is looking out for because we want to impress this client. This is our first time client and we don't want to fail them. We want to give them a very strong candidate, not just and I'm telling they were not on the call. They were not on the call with me. They did not even hop on the call with you. They did not hop on the call with you. They did not hop on the call with me. You didn't get to see them. They didn't get to speak with you, but they've rejected you already. They don't really want to know what my conversation with you was or what my decision was. All they can see is your CV and they are looking at it and they are feeling like, no, this is not our guy. We need a better person. And that's how you lost out. That's how you missed that opportunity. I'm a recruiter, so I tend to come here and tell you things like this and tell you these are things that happen back end that you're not aware of. We don't really make the decision. In life, there are different levels in workplaces. If you work in different places, you know that there are levels. There is the CEO, there is a person following the CEO, there is the CFO, there is the team lead, there are different categories, and your decision as just being a team member might not actually count in certain things. And recruitment is one of those things that can actually prompt your decision not to count. You know, that's an industry or a field that your decision at some level might not count. All right. If I had my clients and I was dealing with my clients directly, I am sourcing my decision matters because it is your clients. All we know as all the company knows as a company is this is your client, this is your role, close the job, this is the timeline you have. No matter how you go about it, just close the role and give the client a very good candidate, a very good candidate. So in that position, if you're actually impressing me in an interview, you're impressing the right person because I make the decision, not really the final, but I make the decision. The final decision for recruiters most time, the final decision still comes from the client. The client will still have to decide if they really want or not. But then for you to get to meet the client, I have to approve you. I have to let you go to that client, right? That is it. So if I had my own client and I was working with them directly, my decision mattered. But if paraventure, if somehow you happen to impress the wrong person in an interview and then you think that was where the interview ended or you thought and to you, it went well, my dear, I'm telling you, you probably impressed the wrong person. I know right now you're thinking, oh, maybe that girl I hopped on a call with was not really the person that made the decision. Maybe that guy I hopped on a call with was not really the person. Yeah, yeah, I get that happens. But yeah, that could be one of the reasons why you didn't get a call back. Now let's move to the next point. Now for the second point, I will say you were easy, but someone else was easier. What do I mean? I did not say someone else was better. I mean easier. That's the word. In recruitment, there are candidates that are easy to work with, and there are candidates that are not so easy to work with. Now, if I tried contacting you the first time and I had a little bit of issue contacting you, that might just be okay, okay, okay. Then I tried to contact you the second time. Maybe you currently work and your work does not give you some time to, do some personal things during work hour. So you have to strictly be at work and you are still on this stage with me. And then I call you during work hour, maybe you might be in a meeting, you won't be able to respond, or maybe you later get back to me. But the duration of time or the time I needed, the timeline I was working with, you were kind of disturbing it because your timeline was not really tallying with my own timeline as a recruiter. And then there's someone else that was easier. Probably the person does not have a job currently, or they have a job but they can find their way around things. And the person is making it easier. Once I give the person a call, immediately they are picking up the call. Once I send them an email, immediately they are replying. Once I want to communicate with them, if I just say within this minute that I need to communicate an update with this candidate, or I need to understand this particular thing about this candidate that I did not understand before. Once I hop on a call or chat or email with them, I'm getting a response immediately. That's my easy candidate. That's my easy candidate. So at this point, no matter how impressed we recruiters get on a call with you or an interview with you, somehow you just did not seem like an easy person to work with. You just did not make our work so easy. You made it a little bit harsh. You you found a way to clash our timeline and our targets because recruitment has to do with targets. Most times recruitment they earn commissions on closed roles. Yes, it works somehow like sales and marketing or business development. We work with targets. We have a timeline we work with. So if you're not making it easy for us, if we are trying to communicate to you, it is a hassle. They are trying to get through to you, it's another hassle. There's just some things we don't really find easy. Trust me, you might not hear back from us. That's the truth. You might not hear back from recruiters. All right, I'm giving you real life recruiters insights. That's why you should subscribe to this channel. Oh. That's why you should subscribe. It does not cost money. Just hit that subscribe button so you don't miss such sweet updates. All right, that's just it. We sometimes just work with the easy candidates. This candidate made it easy for us. Let's go easy. Let's just go easy. All right. So the next point will be the company changed this mind. When I talk about the company, I'm talking about probably our clients. It probably will be our clients, or certainly will be our clients. Our clients changed mind. There are days our clients will get to us and we think they are very serious about filling a particular role. And we just go ahead immediately, source, get candidates, interview you, we get impressed, and we are forwarding your CVs and profiles to our clients. And then the client gets back to us the next day and be like, you know what? We want to pause on that role. We want to pause on that role for now. We actually thought we needed such person, but we just realized that right now we don't really need the person. So let's pause. My dear, imagine this happens. We really can't get back to you, not because it's our choice, not because you did not do well, but just because the person does not want to fill that role anymore. The client does not want to fill it. Some clients, they can come with five different roles at once. I need to fill a social media manager. I need to fill a business development person. I need to fill a front desk officer. I need to fill an accountant. I need to fill a sales representative person. Just like that, five different roles. And once they bring these five different roles, the possibility of them canceling on any of those roles are very, very high. They can come and tell you, you know what, those five roles we gave you, cut it down to three. We only want to fill these specific three roles. We don't want to fill the other two. Just let the other two be. And that is it. That is how we stop there. That is how those other two just goes like that. They might never come back to it again. They might never want to fill that role. And you've had an interview with the recruiter. The recruiter has seen you. You guys have spoken, and in your head you're like, okay, I will land this job. This job just sure for me. It really sure for me. But then we didn't get back to you because our hands were tied. It was tight. We were just tied up. We just couldn't get past that. Just couldn't get past that. I can't force a client that don't want to fill a role to fill a role. No, we don't do that in recruitment. We only work when they want to work. If they don't want, we stop, we pause. If at some point we are at the final stage and they say they don't want, we stop. That is how recruitment works. So if this happens to you, you will not hear back. And sometimes the truth is, why recruiters don't even give you a feedback in this scenario is, unless some recruiters that are very, very cautious of the whole process, recruiters like me, yes. So if you just get back to you and tell you, okay, okay, look at what the update is. The client want to pause, but we'll get back to you once they want to resume on the road. But there is also a probability that they might never resume, just so you know. But if they resume, I'll get back to you. That is it. Because you are their very good candidate and they had a good conversation with you, they want to just keep you informed and let you know that okay, this is what is happening. But if for some recruiters that are actually very busy, or that don't even feel like okay, they should actually give you an update. Some of them they might just let it be, and they will just be hoping that you're just there waiting for them any day the client comes up and say we need this role. They feel like oh, you always be there waiting for them. So any day the client comes, that day they'll call you. If you not tell them you're occupied or you're doing something now or you can't take the job, we become pained, or we get pained, or we get pain. Shall we feel pain? So you get, so that is it. These are things that can actually make you have a very good interview during an interview process and still not hear anything back at the end of the day. There's still another thing that can happen along the way. The interview went great for you simply because the recruiter was trying so hard to be very, very professional. We will get back to you. This was a nice interview. You'll surely hear back from us, or I'll give you an update on WhatsApp. Don't worry, I will send you an email in regards to the update of this interview. That's just us being professional. We're trying to be professional. We're not trying to tell you on that call that you know what? You didn't pass the interview. You know what? We are not getting back to you. You just failed. You failed woefully. We don't want to do that with you on that call. We want to be as professional as possible. We want to make you have the best interview experience. We wanted to smile with you, wanted you to smile, wanted you to feel great about the whole process. So we just give you those replies. You will definitely hear back from us. We are going to get back to you on what the next process is. Oh, that was nice. You explained that very nice. Thank you for that nice explanation. That's professionalism. That's what we are trying to sell to you. I'm trying to sell to you that we are professional enough to handle an interview and to make you have a great experience in this interview. But that does not necessarily mean that that interview went well. If you ask the recruiter and they get full deep down with you to tell you what's actually happened in that interview, you will hear another thing entirely. But we don't want to spill that. We don't want to tell you that. We don't want to get involved in all that. And we want you to feel good about yourself and about the process, right? Because we don't want you to start dragging us online. Oh, recruiters, do you know recruiter Cynthia? When I had an interview with recruiter Cynthia, she told me this, she told me that. Some of you can even record and post online, and that's how I'll go viral. I will go viral. But yeah, that happens. That those kind of things happen. And when these things happen, it's not really something that can be helped. It's not really something that can be helped. It's just how the system is programmed. And you're supposed to feel good after an interview. I make sure you feel good after an interview. In fact, from the interview, if you were nervous, if you enter an interview where I was to be an interviewer, I first of all cool your nerves and make you realize that we're just talking, all right. Let's just talk. Let's just have a conversation. If I notice that you're on the high side, you're panicking, you know, be like, okay, okay, please, this is just an interview, all right? It's just an interview. Just feel free. Feel at home. Yeah, we are all here to learn from each other, all right? So that's professionalism. We try to be very professional and give you the nice experience, a very nice experience. All right. So that will be it for the end of this video. If this kind of video is something that interests you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It is for free. It is for free. It does not cost money. Hit on that subscribe button so you follow this channel or subscribe to this channel so you don't miss our next post because you don't want to miss my next gist. Though. Yeah, you not enjoy my gists. Yeah? I come here, I want to gist you and gist you and gist you on recruiter things and help you get this job. Right? Help you and notice that's actually happening indoors. You know, so that when they talk, you be like, hey, I know about this. Recruiter Cynthia said this, I know. All right, that's why we are here. So don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe, subscribe so you don't miss it. All right, that will be it for this channel. For now, Recruiter Cynthia says bye bye.